In the world of fashion and influence, our guest is a shining star. Raunak has amassed a massive following of 70,000, all due to his sense of original style, sense of fashion, and the kind of content he creates. So today, Raunak's going to be sharing his insights, his journey, what made his journey special. I can't promise you anything else, but what I can promise you is this conversation is going to be candid and unfiltered with a lot of insights. So you could be an agency specialist, you could be anyone interested in the influencers, you could be a brand, you could be a fellow creator yourself, but this conversation is definitely going to give you some new insights. So let's welcome Raunak. Let's get to know the man behind the fashion lens. Welcome Raunak to Upclose and Personal.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's lovely to have you. So just to kick things off, I just want to start with a very basic question. What prompted your journey? मतलब कैसे शुरू किया? Did you plan it out? Did you just stumble upon something like this? कैसे शुरू हुआ?
So basically I was doing my studies. After 12th I started doing my engineering, which I had in my mind, and my parents were also like, you have to become an engineer, get a computer science graduate, and do this job. So I was like, yeah, I'm also needing to studies.
Typical Indian family, engineering or doctor.
I'm from Varanasi, so I'm not even from Mumbai.
Okay.
So my family belongs to there, and the Varanasi has this a little conservative thing that do engineering, doctor, MBA, and all that. We don't look beyond this.
Right.
So I always knew that I wanted to get into something very creative. I told my parents that maybe I'll become a model in future after my studies are done, because I wanted to just make them validated with my studies that okay, this is something you wanted.
ये कर लिया, अब मैं अपना करूँगी.
I'm going to do what I want.
Fair.
So that was my motive, and because also this coming into a entirely different industry takes a lot of guts, and this industry is very uncertain. So then I moved to my college, and then after the first year ended, pandemic came, and 2.5 years straight I was in pandemic, so nothing I was doing. I was at home. So to be very honest, I am today where I'm standing today as an influencer is actually because of pandemic. People have different stories about pandemic, that they wasted a lot of time or whatsoever, but for me particularly, I was not going to college. I got a lot of time. And then I was like, what should I do? I wanted to be very productive, because college was something, okay, chal raha hai and the exams ho jayenge, and then you will eventually pass out and you'll get a placement. So I still got second year, third year. So I started my content creation, and then I started actually using Instagram properly, that okay, this is something people are doing, and people are getting viral and people are doing good in this. So why can't I do it? Because eventually I wanted to end up into creative field, and I was very confident in front of camera.
Okay.
From the very starting, it's not like I have done something. I knew, okay, I'll do it. Maybe I'll take some time, but eventually I'll.
You had the extroverted energy since childhood.
Correct. So, I mean, my mom is also extrovert. My brother is also very extrovert. So I was like, हाँ, मेरे अंदर थोड़ा inbuilt आ गया.
Right.
Extrovert तो बन जाएंगे. So yeah.
So I had another follow-up question. I'm sorry to cut you off,
Yeah,
but the thing is, are you doing content creation full-time, or are you juggling between other things also?
So I'll come to that and answer the follow-up. So after into the pandemic, I started with the creation of content. So I was doing anything randomly. Okay, people are making this particular reel. So earlier, I guess 1.5 years back in the pandemic, it was very easy to get viral. That okay, this trend is सब लोग viral हो जाएंगे.
जो कम लोग थे, I think the people were less at that point.
People were less, but people were getting viral instantly, very fast, as compared to what I felt currently.
Right.
It takes time now, and it takes a lot of creation work and a lot of dedication to actually make it stand out from the other content. Earlier, it was not. It was like
जो बना दो viral.
Right. So I had this strategy in my mind that okay, I have got this. I observed for a lot of time what people are doing. Also, one thing, coming into that content creation was not very easy, because you absolutely no one, and then you started making content. What people are going to perceive of you was also, judgmental factor was also in their mind. How people are going to perceive me,
right.
how my friends are going to react, how my parents are going to react. They don't even know what I will be doing.
Right.
So I started posting pictures and everything. I started posting reels, random reels, photos versus videos kind of reels. And then one of my reel fortunately got viral. and I got 600k views on that,
Yeah.
and I instantly gained 5,000 followers, and the engagement was increasing day by day. So I was like, okay, this is done. Now I have to keep creating, and eventually, where I have to follow up, I'll follow.
I think that is the first boost of confidence any influencer gets,
Yeah.
right? First viral reel is a
Correct.
milestone.
It's a milestone.
Because then you're like, अरे अच्छा ये कर सकते हैं हम, right?
हाँ.
उससे पहले we like करें नहीं करें.
भाई I guess 3-4 वीडियोस तक तो बस 10,000 20,000
right.
मैक्सिमम गया होगा, वरना तो 5,000 views 200 likes वैसे ही रहता था.
Right.
After the reel got viral, I got that confidence. Okay, I can also do it. Let me just get into this. Then I started making content. I explored so many niche like fashion, cooking, funny. I actually started with the funny content.
Right.
I posted 4-5 funny content, and then I posted a fashion content which got viral.
Funny content is very scary, no? Because you just like you're making a fool of yourself, and before posting, don't
Exactly.
you feel like,
and I as a person, I don't feel I'm that funny guy. I'm a very stereotypical. Yeah, okay, let's have this conversation.
Right. You're an engineer. I mean,
I'm an engineer, so you can't even expect me to be very funny.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
So that I was doing, then I realized the fashion was actually working for me, and I wanted to experiment with the clothes and everything. I was
Right.
used to copy other people who were actually influencers,
Right.
like big influencers at that time. So yeah, then I entered into this fashion thing, and I started making content, and yeah, that's how.
That sounds amazing. So Raunak, one of your reels has 45 million views, right? Got viral. And I think it was a brand collaboration. So tell me, after the reel got viral, did the conditions that you have with the brand change? Or was it like fixed amount ki itna hi hoga, irrespective of how many views you get?
So the thing is, before you actually, put the content on Instagram, it is very well decide priorly
How much you
how
charge.
much you are going to charge for a particular brand,
Right.
and what is a fixed amount. That is always a fixed amount,
Right.
unless until you're not doing that affiliate thing also, where people are buying your clothes and then you get the commission.
Right.
Generally, I don't do that because it's very mess, and so I got a fixed amount paid, and then it's their luck that it has got so many views, and they are making such good business out of it, really such good business, but they will pay only certain amounts, which is already fixed.
And I think
It's not.
you're having this conversation which I again wanted to come back to. So like I said, we were having a lot of trouble finding influencers who talk, and it is very surprising for us considering ki in day-to-day lives, influencers every day face the camera, right? They shoot content, they're on camera. We've seen so many videos of them talking. But when approached by opportunities like, live speaking one-on-one, interviews, panel discussions, I've barely seen people volunteer for that. Why do you think that is? Isn't it ironic according to you?
Even I have the same question actually. I'm going to answer this as well, but I also question it on a daily basis. Why people are not comfortable talking onto the camera? Fashion is something that people are creating, and people are very comfortable. But when it comes to speaking and comfortable on the camera, it gets a little difficult. And to be honest, I'm not saying that I was always typically comfortable. Even I remember the first brand collaboration that I got. It was for Ustra Men, and so I was very conscious, like how I'm going to do that 1 minute video. So I has to literally script it on a page, and I told my friend to just hold it for me. And there's one light my friend was holding, and I was just delivering it. So from there to today, that I can just read it and do it in a minute. But there are a lot less men influencers I feel who can actually speak up and who's comfortable. So brands are accordingly, coming to the people who are actually speaking and doing this.
Right.
This is what I have observed as compared to the
Well,
what other people are.
according to you, male influencers mostly, there aren't a lot of people who can talk to the camera.
Yeah, I don't think there are a lot of people who can talk to the camera, because I think talking onto the camera is the only way of doing self-branding. You cannot just shut your mouth and make fashion content.
Just do some poses and then reels.
And expect people to be like, okay, I'm getting influence from you.
Kab tak will people be attracted to a pretty face or like a pretty thing? At some point, they need some personality, They need something to...
And I guess one of the major reason I was able to do it because I have been doing a lot of talking videos currently.
I've seen.
And that's why people are actually keen on, okay, now I can hear this person. I know this person who kaise sound kar raha hai. Then only people will start relating to your content.
It makes a connection with the audience.
It makes a connection, and that's the only way of self-branding.
Makes sense.
So it is very important. I would say that people should actually, the male influencer particularly, should actually speak more onto the camera. There are a few actually who are very good doing this. For example, I want to take one name. This Khalid.
Khalid.
Khalid is a guy, like he's creating a fashion content.
Okay.
All videos he has been just talking onto the camera and interacting into the video, and he's very dedicated with his content. So those are the creators I would say that can actually achieve way more than people who don't speak.
Shout out to Khalid, guys. Anyways, okay. Now let's talk about the numbers, which is the most intriguing part about any podcast. There's a lot of myths, I would say, about numbers. I've gotten such vague. I asked 10 people, how much do you think influencers earn? Oh my god, you will not believe the numbers I've gotten. And I was like, Sachi mein, like really? So let's. I think everyone around us had this question. Let's ask you. Okay, which was your highest paid collab, and what was the amount?
So currently I have like 70,000 followers on Instagram.
Okay.
So of course people are earning lakhs and lakhs and lakhs and lakhs of amount.
Okay.
So my highest was 1.2 for one reel, collaborative reel.
Okay.
That was the highest.
Yeah. And what was the amount that you 1.2 by the way, guys? What was the amount that you started with?
I started with 2.5k.
2.5k to 1.2.
I guess Ustra paid me 2.5k when I was having like 11,000 followers. Not even that, also even less than that.
Okay. And so if I talk about influencers who are in your range of following, like let's say between 70 to 100k, on an average, वो एक महीने में कितना कमा रहे हैं?
So the thing is, this is actually a myth. I feel people have this perception that this certain amount of followers will earn this amount and this certain this will earn. ऐसा नहीं है. ऐसा बिल्कुल भी नहीं है. ऐसा है, but there's a lot of things which are under consideration when it is about to pay you.
Right.
So the biggest thing is actually people don't talk about is engagement. So you can easily get a lot of engagement calculators on Google. You can just write Instagram engagement calculators. You will get a calculator. You just put your username, and there you'll get this person has this amount of engagement.
Do you know your engagement rate currently?
So if you on an average, there are different sites, so thoda sa fluctuate karega.
Of course.
But mine is around 8 to 9%.
That is massive.
That is massive. That is actually very good. So so when it comes to brand who are coming to an influencer and say, for instance, that I'm going to give you 50,000 for a reel.
Right.
So people who have even more engagement than can demand, and they are going to pay irrespective of your followers.
Okay.
I have felt this. I have done this. So because there are people who have like 200k followers and have reached 1% or 2%. Okay. So nobody is giving them 50,000 or lakh rupees.
Right. But
people are giving until if you have like really that self branding and the content is way too the quality is very high. Until unless if it is not there, people the brands are not paying you that heavy amount, lakh, 2 lakh.
Assuming that let's say it's a 70-80k influencer, right? Engagement rate average है. Let's say 3-4% मान लो rate, मान लो 3% engagement rate है. What would they be earning per month?
So per month is a very how should I tell you? The number of brands you're getting in a month is not fixed.
But do you have a fellow influencer, some friend of yours, perhaps someone you know in the industry, and I mean, approximately this is the range in which they earn per month?
I guess 3-4 lakhs per month.
3-4 lakhs per month.
They can easily earn.
That's massive.
3-4 lakhs.
That's huge actually.
That's
because
huge.
Compared to what you earn in corporates, especially freshers.
I mean, any influencer is earning more than average engineer.
Damn.
Even I am an engineer, I can also assure that, because
I'm a business student. I think I need to take 1 second.
Yeah, I mean, influencers are earning anything and everything. I mean, I can't even predict. I can't even tell you, because there are people who have like 500k followers instance, for example. They can easily charge a brand 1 to 1.5 lakhs per reel. And the brands are ready to pay.
And on an average,
I have a friend, I'm not going to name him.
Of course not.
So he has just 1.5 lakhs followers
Okay.
on Instagram, 150K.
Hmm.
He is asking 1.5 to 2 lakhs per reel, and his content is so massive and good that he is actually getting it.
There's this influencer that I personally follow, Chirag Khanna. He is, I think, big.
Chirag is doing absolutely amazing. I guess.
Amazing. You look at his content, the way it's shot very professionally also.
Very, very, very. And I think he's very particular about which brands are he doing.
I think very
particular
selective
because
brand.
I'm very sure, me being an influencer, I get a lot of brands.
Right.
And you have the option to choose which one.
Of course, you're right.
So Chirag must be getting a lot of brands, which he's not doing and he's not showcasing on Instagram. And he's doing only brands which is like very popular or very, branded.
According to his whatever his self brand he's trying to make.
Exactly. So he can even, I guess, earn way more than what he's earning right now from Instagram. But he chooses to, do that self branding to
limit the kind of brand that he wants to interact.
Which is also very amazing.
So, what does your day look like?
My day, so I am working as a software developer, as I told you, and also a full-time content creator. So I wake up in the morning, I have my breakfast and everything. I start with my office. So currently, right now, I'm not on a project. I just completed one. So currently, I'm not doing a proper like पूरा 9 घंटे बैठ के. So I have like scrum meeting in the morning, and then there's a follow-up meeting at 4. And in between I have to attend all the calls for the brands, or if some agency is coordinating for the approvals, where is the edit and everything. So those 4 hours goes into that, all of these things, and the day starts, I get calls and calls and calls and calls, and eventually when I'm done with the meetings and everything, I conclude my day with if I have to edit something. So the thing is, I'm not managed by someone. I used to get managed by someone.
You're not with an agency right now. Why is
No.
that? Why not an agency?
So being with an agency is actually, I feel very, what you say, it was a mess for me.
Restrictive.
So, it was not restrictive. I was not getting anything out of it, to be honest.
So, make an agency culture explain to me. So, agency is like, explaining agency culture, what it is to you. So, basically, there are influencer marketing agencies who represent influencers,
Correct.
right? If I'm right. And those influencers can only work with the agency, jo brands agency lati hai, right? They can't, if brands are approaching the influencer on their own, they can't take up those deals. Am I right?
Yes. So how it works is, agency is kind of hiring you as an influencer, that okay, I am the agency and this influencer we have. So if a brand comes to the agency that okay, we want influencers, so they will pitch their influencers. Okay, Raunak is the influencer, you can just take this guy. Okay. So now here the point is, they will assign you a person who will be your manager, who will manage your mails. There will be a common mail for the agency or manager and you, where you can see what the conversation they are having, and what is the budget they are asking, what is the budget the manager is providing, and then you eventually conclude things, and then it goes to you that how you have to carry out the whole.
But you don't think it's a good idea to be?
I'll tell you why it is not a good idea for me, because what eventually they are doing is, so I am not managed by anyone. I am getting brands on my mail. Right. Just because a third person wo aa raha hai beech mein to just see that what I am doing, and then they take certain like.
What is the commission percentage that these
So it
agencies
varies
take?
from influencer to influencer and reach
Okay.
to reach. So generally what I have got from the agencies like 40-60 and 30-70.
So 40% they're taking
so
commission.
If I'm taking a lakh, then should I give you 30,000 just for
communicating
and delivering it to me that you have to do this thing.
Right.
So I can do that, taking my 10 minutes more. Why would I do that?
Yeah.
And why people are actually doing it, who all are doing it, I'll tell you, who are not getting brands.
Right.
So agencies help, they do help. This is one use that they are helping influencers to get brands.
Right.
But I feel like I have a certain image with the brands that they come to me eventually, theek hai, ye hai, and this is your budget. And when it comes to brand and coordinating with the brand, you have to see a lot of aspects, how they are communicating. So when I get on a call, so for example, if I stated a certain I quoted a certain commercial that I want to charge this much for this reel.
Okay.
So there 3 scenarios can happen. One is they can be like, yeah, okay, done.
ठीक है.
One is like, नहीं हमारा budget नहीं है. One is like कि
बात करते हैं.
So in all these scenarios you can actually retrospect and understand. Maybe you can ask more, maybe they are ready to pay more, maybe they are actually not going to pay. So sometimes what happens is I have asked more because I got it that they are ready to pay. अगर इतना तो ये थोड़ा और push करेंगे until unless they are not doing that. Okay यार नहीं होगा अब इतना, I cannot pay. If the agency is telling that, so then I stop. But it has happened to me a lot of time that I am doing a certain I've quoted a certain commercial, they are okay with it, they are not okay with it. So वो conversation मैं कर पा रहा हूँ because I am understanding that.
Right.
The manager's concern is only that okay, I am getting into the collab, इतना है, करना है, नहीं करना है. Because sometimes what happens, if I really like the brand, if the brand is big, they are not ready to pay a lot of amount, I'll still do it in a little less amount. Because I know that if this brands come to my page,
right,
it is going to be a big deal for me.
Right.
And this manager or any third person is not going to understand. So that was the main concern. I dropped the whole idea.
That's an interesting, it's an interesting thing. It's an interesting conversation actually, because. And how long do you have to stay with an agency? What is the average tenure period that you stay with an agency?
So some agencies have understood that it is very difficult for influencers to, usko rakhi lo and phasa ke and all that. So they have come with a contract of 3 years, 6 months or a year.
Okay.
So that's how it works. But yes, there's one more thing. It gets very difficult some points for me to even manage every chats, and then I'm coordinating with everyone. I've quoted certain commercials to different brands. I don't have the same commercial for every brand, of course. So sometimes I forget also, okay, how much I quoted to this brand. So it gets a little messy.
That is why a manager helps, right?
That is why a manager helps, and people who are like very big influencers, for example, what do you call it? Rida.
Right.
Or Rebel Kid. Or Ankush Variku, sorry, Variku nahi. That guy?
Bhagna. I forgot.
Correct.
I'm not
and even like Dolly Singh or whatsoever. There's so many big influencers. Vishnu is there. So these influencers do require a proper agency and a manager and a team. So because they are getting brands on a daily basis and they have to coordinate. It'll get very difficult for them.
Okay. So guys, we have treaded through the lighter industry level questions. Now we will ask you, now let me ask you some questions which will make you think. But Ranveer Allahabadiya style, does the future
अपने मरने के बारे में सोचते हो?
No, I wish कि आप अपने मरने के बारे में सोचते हैं. Genuinely I want to know. But on a very serious note, does the future scare you? As an influencer, you've heard thousands of people tell you that this is a bubble, right? TikTok came, TikTok went, right? Does the future scare you when you think about being an influencer?
I think it definitely does, because as I said, I'm having 2 careers at the same time.
Right.
So it makes me feel more secure for my job, the job that I'm doing, instead of this Instagram. Because if TikTok can go, that's how Instagram can go, in even the YouTube. People say, how will it go? Why will it go? Of course, that is the thing. But being an influencer, you have that sense of this thing that you have certain number of followers. What if this account goes?
What if it gets hacked? You know for real.
Yeah,
what if it gets hacked?
What if it gets hacked? Or what if you don't follow certain, you do certain violations, and Instagram takes your. There's so many people I know on YouTube that they had violated some copyright issues, and then the ID was like just vanished. This is what YouTube did. So now they are just crying and just sitting because they don't have a job, and now they are not, secured. And even if you don't talk about that, it will go only. But the pace of the
growth,
popularity and the growth can decrease. And what if the engagement actually decreases and people started unfollowing you for some reason or whatsoever?
But
how will you stick around then?
That's fair. Okay. But if you think about it, like now we've just discussed how an average influencer is definitely earning more than, let's say, an average corporate employee.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that corporate mein there's a certain predicted scope of growth. You know the increment rates, you know the average salaries, 5 years later, 10 years later, you do the MBA, this is what you can expect.
Yeah.
You can't do that for an influencer, right? Now, I can't say कि यार 5 साल बाद I reach this level, this is what I'm expecting. You can't do that. So, I don't know, what makes it interesting? Why is the proposition still there? क्यों लोग influencer बनना चाह रहे हैं फिर भी? When you know there's so much risk involved.
So the thing is, I think everything boils down to the point where people are actually getting influenced. When I'm putting some content there, I literally have like DMs that I have done this, I followed you for the fashion tip, and then I'm taking this, I'm going to a wedding, what should I wear, this or this. People are like literally DMing. So these are things which actually makes you feel like, okay, there's something scope in the future, as in a personal brand, that I am actually doing what I love eventually, right? And I'm able to put out the content which I want to do, and people are getting heard basically. I have a certain opinion and a certain perspective over everything. So just like I'm giving a perspective, so I was not able to do it. That's how I came into this, and eventually I am getting paid out of it. And people are influenced that, okay, why are these influencers getting so much paid?
Because people
would
are
want,
getting.
okay, if he can do it, why can't I do it?
Right.
And even that is how I started, at least. That if he's doing, why can't I do it?
Right.
And today I'm doing it. There are people who are looking into it, that why can't I do it? And people will enter into this.
Right.
And talking about the scope of this influencers, the scope is massive. I am charging a certain number. I am not sure if maybe my next 2-3 reels can go viral.
Right.
For instance, if I consider 3 reels get viral, I have like 10 million तीनों पे. So I will increase my pay.
You can increase your
I can increase my pay in a month.
Okay.
So the scope,
So,
you
will I-
cannot imagine the
अगर
graph.
मैं डिस्टिल करके 2 लाइन में बोलूं, is it quick money, quick fame? That is what is attracting people.
Yeah, correct.
Right?
Quick money.
It boils down to quick money, quick fame, which is not happening in corporate. It's a gradual ladder.
Gradual ladder, and you are putting so much efforts in the corporate. As I can't even compare these two things, because
You can't.
here you are actually willingly doing what you are actually doing. In the corporate also we are doing, but we have a pressure that we have to certainly like do this. You have to mind what you're speaking and all that. And here we have this
With
own thing that,
freedom.
okay, I don't want to do this brand. I want to do this brand,
Right.
or I'll take some time. I'll do it this next month. I don't feel like doing it right now. I'll do it next month. I don't to do. I'll have a vacation. You can't just go in the corporate and take a long vacation out of it. So that is something.
बेचारे ये सुन के कितने 9 to 5 वाले रो रहे होंगे इस टाइम पे.
I mean, to be honest, this is the reality.
It is.
This is the reality. I sometimes, literally, this has happened to me so many times. I sit on my couch and I'm working, and I'm thinking, I am not even getting anywhere close to what I am getting as an influencer. Why I'm still doing this? Because the security is there.
Right.
I know that if I have a certain years of experience, I can go for another company if Instagram doesn't work out, and that company is going to take me because I have a certain number of experience in Oracle or for the job.
Now listening
So that's
to
what
all
makes
of this,
me secure. Yeah.
listening to all of this, I'm sure a lot of influencers, a lot of potential influencers, budding influencers,
Yeah.
right? 2-3-4 हजार followers वाले, 5,000, maybe 6,000. People might be like कि okay, I see potential in this, and I also want to do this thing. इस इंसान ने 1 साल में इतने followers कर लिए, 6 महीने में इतने कर लिए. I also want to do this. Now imagine that you had. अगर मैं क्वेश्चन नॉर्मली पूछूं कि imagine would you recommend someone to become an influencer, right? You would probably say yes, but imagine there's someone very close to you. Let's say you have a younger brother. If he asks, should he enter the influencer industry in 2023? Looking at how many influencers there are right now, the market is filled, right? It is very hard to break the clutter. Would you recommend someone to start this journey in 2023?
So what I've understood with my experience is, if you really want to do something and if you really want to get into something, वो ही eventually आकर टिकेंगे इस industry में, who are actually doing it naturally and passionately and very organically, that I want to make this content.
Right.
Not because I want to become an influencer, then eventually I'll get a brand and I'll get paid.
Right.
So if someone is waiting for that day to come, that brand will come to me. So those people are not going to exceed. There are a lot of influencers who have like just gone. They don't even exist now. Only because they have not been doing, they're not being real on Instagram.
Right.
So being real on Instagram is very important when it comes to actually growing and, अगर आपको टिकना है इस industry में. I'll take very small example. There's a friend of mine. Just 1.5 years back, he was doing very good, and I was not doing anything at that moment. And I had actually texted him ki you are doing very good, this that, and like a fan moment kind of thing.
Right.
And then he vanished. I guess I didn't follow him, or maybe I unfollowed him. And then just last month he came and texted me. It's so incredible to see your journey. Where
So,
you have come."
how much of what we see on Instagram is real? You know, I've seen influencers fighting. I've seen influencers becoming friends. I've seen influencers who probably like did not like each other posting so many things together. So all of a sudden, how much of it is real?
How much it is of real? To be honest, I didn't have that kind of experience till yet.
Of course.
Yeah. So.
But you must know people in the industry who are faking it, right? No name taking, but you know.
Yeah, of course I know there are people who are just faking it and who are not being real. And I feel being real is the most important aspects of becoming an influencer in any field, in any niche. And if you're not being real on Instagram, there's no point. If I talk about particularly fashion, people are, again, as I said, people are wearing everything and anything on Instagram to look exaggeratively appealing on a particular picture, and people are like, wow, what an outfit. And if you really ask them to wear it on the streets, they literally cannot.
Okay.
So I try to be as much real as possible, as authentic, and I'm showing what I'm wearing. I'm literally open about everything. On my stories and everything. If I am sad also, I tell on my story that, today was not a good day for me and I'm not doing good, so I won't be posting anything like that. And there are people who are just faking it to the extent that they have to be very, they're trying to portray a lifestyle which they don't even have.
Right, that's inflated lifestyle. I see so many people going to cafes every second day. Abhi ye, fir party.
They are going to different cafes or clubbings and making friends around the influencers.
ऐसा होता है? Are they actually meeting so many people, making new friends every day, or is it just for the
happening, gram? For me, I feel like mostly it's for the gram, and you can exchange your followers and the likes and comments who exchange. Even I can also do that, but I have not done yet.
Right.
I don't indulge into doing that because I have a personal opinion about it. That your self branding comes into play. Then what are you doing as your own, and why are you किसी और के ऊपर करके कि ओके मुझे उससे फायदा हो जाएगा, which is fine of course. If it is helping you, then definitely it is fine. But I don't go to these influencer meetups events where you interact and then you collect connections from there, which is fine. People who are doing it, that's good for them. But just again, the last thing.
You believe in natural connection, which is naturally formed instead
of just
forcing.
Going and meeting it and just making it content out of it just to get the followers and everything up. So I don't feel like that's.
Okay, guys, let's add fire to the rapid fire round. I'm going to ask you some questions. This is obviously about the influencer industry, and I want you to answer as quick as you can. Are you ready?
Ready.
All right. Hottest influencer right now?
Rida Tharana.
Rida Tharana, okay. Overrated influencer?
Agastya Shah. His content is it's not at all funny for me. So it's very underrated.
Your competitor?
My competitor, I don't see myself anyone as a competitor right now, but there are people who I look forward, who are not actually कैसे कहते हैं ना, like 19-20 का फर्क होता है, but I am actually 10 and they are 20. So I'll reach that stage first and then I'll say that they are my competition.
But who is it? Give me a name.
I don't want to.
You can give me a name. You're anyway saying that they're inspirational to you.
Chirag is one.
Chirag is one. Definitely.
I always see him as a inspiration.
Contemporary.
Correct.
In
not
the
a competition.
Same, not a competition, but contemporary. Right?
Maybe I'll reach that level on where he is standing right now. Maybe then I can say that he is my competition.
Okay. Okay. What is the percentage of influencers who you think depict their real life on Instagram?
5 to 8%.
5 to 8%, guys. Rest all of you all are faking or what? What is happening here? Okay. What is the one lie which every influencer has told at some point?
So a lot of you guys have been asking me. Nobody's asking no one. They have been always telling on the stories that, oh, a lot of you guys have asked me this, that. Eventually they want to showcase something, but no one is asking them and they're just telling it anyway, just to say it.
Okay. What is the one thing which influencers think but don't say? Look at the camera while you answer that.
Lagi padi hai. सबकी लगी पड़ी है because people have other lives as well, the BTS life, what you call it, and no one is showcasing that. So that is it.
So, what's the weirdest way that you've been approached as an influencer?
So I have two answers to it. So the first answer, actually, someone DM'd me. There was a girl who DM'd me regarding saying, "This is the agency I'm calling you from, and this is the brand we want to do with you. So can you just send me your contact details to it?" So I was like, "Yeah, sure." That's how it happens. And I am a little scared, giving the number directly on Instagram chat. That's how it happens. So I gave the number. She called me. We started talking about the brand. We hardly talked for like 1 minute. I got it, and this is not about a brand or collaboration or something.
Yeah.
And then we started having this conversation: where you from, what do you do, how your day goes, and all like these are irrelevant questions that someone will ask you. And then she started flirting with me, and then I was still in doubt whether this is actually about it, because I don't want to be unprofessional. So then she started saying that let's come to a club, and then I'll give you all the details about it. And you will get into the details. I was like, yeah, I got you. What details you're talking about? So then she started texting me on WhatsApp as well and all that. So then I have to tell her to stop. And eventually, I guess I blocked her. Then that's how it happened.
The perks of being an influencer, man. I mean, look at it.
And the second thing was very weird. I am sure many influencers have got this. Nobody has ever come on the camera and said it. It happens so many times with people that there was a profile.
Yeah.
I still don't know if that was a guy or a girl. So it came to me up as like we have a paid collaboration for you. I was like, okay, let me reply. So I responded after a day or something.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, thank you for reaching out to me. Let me know further. And then the person is like, you have to. It will be a paid gig, and you are gonna get a very good commercial for this. All you have to do is you have to sleep with someone, and you will pay this much amount.
Oh my God! What was the
This has
amount?
happened.
What is the amount? I want to know.
I guess firstly it was written $1,000, and then it was like you can ask as much as because it will be very confidential. No one is going to know this. You just have to come, sleep, and go. That is fine. It will all be confidential. It has happened to me twice actually.
Oh my God!
2 different DMs I have got. I of course didn't respond it later on, but this has happened with me, and I don't know how many people has happened. It's very hilarious.
Okay. Welcome to the debunking myths section, where I will be giving you 4 to 5 statements and you have to tell me if it's true or false. It is about the influencer industry. Let's start. Being an influencer doesn't require any specific skills. True or false?
False.
Okay. Anybody can be an influencer. True or false?
False.
Okay. Nobody can. Okay. Influencers with around 100k followers earn a 6-digit figure per month.
Easily yes.
Wow. The influencer industry is very shallow.
Hell true.
Male influencers get a lot of female attention.
Of course, yes.
ये कौन है यार? Who is reaching out यार? Which girls are doing this? I want to know. Okay. Thank you so much, Raunak. It was a pleasure having you here.
Same here. Thank you so much.
We really love your content. We hope more people connect to you, more people reach out to you, more people follow you. He's a brilliant guy, guys. It was lovely talking to you. Thank you so much.
Same here.